Hey, T, 1 year down.
That's right, Bob.
What do you think?
365 days to the lay folk, you know?
Or 52 weekly episodes to everybody else. So we are doing a compilation video of some of our key best practices for your inventions of business and some of our most ridiculous moments that T and I get into literally every day.
Comment, follow, like, subscribe.
Sponsor. It's been a long year. All right, folks, welcome to No Followers Podcast. That's T, I'm Bob. We're here to talk the real lingo of business and building your products and all the crap you hear from other people. Specific to manufacturing, though.
Specific to manufacturing, especially what we're working on right now. If you say Pacific instead of specific, that's not a speech impediment. If you have a list, right, you say specific, right? Hey, I'm Mike Tyson, and I'm going to tell you something specific. That's a
You wouldn't
that's
say
a
that
list.
if he was sitting here.
If he were sitting here, I wouldn't be within arm's reach. I'm nowhere within anywhere his footwork can get to me. But that's a speech impediment. I wouldn't make fun of him for that. But if he said, hey, I'm going to tell you pacifically, I'd be like, hey, that's not
a speech
the
impediment
right.
too.
No, that's pacifically instead of specifically. It's a different word.
Just wasting edit.
Keep all this in. Pacifically, this stuff.
Wow, you
Which
just
is?
put candy in your mouth as we start the podcast.
I wanted
That's
the candy.
Genius. Okay, that's fine. T and I have been together for a long time, having those arguments, and we're going to have arguments here all the time because he doesn't see the world the way I do and vice versa, and that's good. It makes a good team. So there's lesson number one.
There you go. I wanted chips.
I'm getting a DM from Jason T. He wants to know things about First Strike Incubator, but you're eating chips.
I don't
so
know.
Thanks for ruining my awesome opening.
I'm not going to let Jason T ruin my chip situation.
Don't mess with Jason T.
I don't know Jason T.
Obviously, because you don't answer any TMs.
No.
And how do you eat chips without ketchup and blue cheese?
That's the behavior of an insane person.
I'm sorry, T. We've had this
You're
argument many
dipping
times.
chips in ketchup?
I am dipping chips in. Not that
Every
flavored
chip?
Not every chip. Normal potato chips getting ketchup. It's like eating French fries.
It's not like eating French
Yes,
fries.
it absolutely is. It's a friggin' potato with salt on it and it has ketchup on it.
Chips aren't like French fries.
Yes, they absolutely are.
Other than the fact that they're both potatoes.
Thank you.
But
You proved my point right there.
what about tortilla chips?
That's a different chip. We're not on tortilla chips right now.
I agree it is a different chip.
Yeah, and you can buy 2 bags of them
Huh?
and eat them differently. You have tortilla chips with salsa and guacamole, and then potato chips with other condiments.
Potato chips don't get dipped in condiments.
What's blue cheese and ketchup?
No, I'm not asking what is a condiment.
You just said.
I'm saying you don't dip chips in condiments.
I just said you do.
The only thing you should dip a chip in is an onion dip.
Oh, there's a dip.
Yeah, a dip, not a condiment.
Ketchup is a dip.
Ketchup.
If you get
hang
the
on.
little containers,
no,
it says
no.
for dipping or
Ketchup is a condiment.
it could be a dip.
No, just because the action doesn't make it the noun.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't. Ketchup is a condiment.
You say you're a fabricator,
I do fabrication.
so the action gives you the title. Why don't you make
No.
more noise on the camera?
First of all,
And bring
I
more
was
than
eating
one
chips.
chip. Just bring more than one type. How can I work under these conditions?
Yeah. And part of it too is just coming in and saying these are real things that we're seeing day to day and trying to break it into digestible snippets for people so that they may be able to identify with some of it and say maybe they're facing it in their own business or they're thinking about starting a business, and it can be overwhelming, and just trying to get into some of the real things that go on out there.
Why don't we
any
just call it
event, it's-
Morsels of Manufacturing.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to write that one down, but I'm trademarking that, baby.
You should be in branding.
It all starts with an idea, but the idea is never going to get to a business without testing that idea in the real world.
This is going to be an instant traction episode.
Amazon.
It's not Amazon.
Damn it.
Thanks for guessing, though. You're close on the year, though. This one was founded in
friggin' years.
1854. So a little bit, it's kind of like pre-Amazon. Just like
By
a
a few
touch
years, I
before
think.
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
General store.
To Sbarro Pizza. I do like Sbarro Pizza.
No,
Really?
no, that's
It's good pizza.
Is this the subtraction?
No, but it just
I'm
made
trying not
me-
to look at your
it
screen.
just made
It's
me
very
think-
hard.
Yeah, I don't know
It's like
how-
Christmas presents in a closet.
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
not
don't know
to
how
look.
I got on Sbarro Pizza, but
You're hungry.
yeah, I mean, it is decent pizza.
Because you didn't bring chips. You brought pita.
I brought
which
pita
is not
chips.
a chip I buy, by the
It's
way.
I found the one chip you don't buy. I'm not
There
even
you
getting
go.
into it.
We wanted to build an incubator that talked about the real hardships, the real stages you have to go through from taking an idea to a finished manufactured product. We both lived it in different iterations. We've lived it together. And there were a lot of programs out there and a lot of classes that talked a lot of theory, but didn't really give people a blueprint to make something happen.
Listen, in this story, there are going to be many through lines that we hit on as we talk about
Ooh,
businesses
I
and
can't
founders
wait.
and all this stuff. Okay, so just be along for the ride. Be a buddy. Okay, as I say to my sister, be a
I've
buddy,
been wingman for 40 something episodes already.
and we appreciate it. That was the name, Louis Vuitton. Do you know where he was from?
France.
Bingo, you nailed it. You're on fire.
Got 1 for 7.
Worked as an apprentice to a box maker named Romain Maréchal.
You are destroying that language.
Je parle français. Oui. That's all I know.
Pepe Le Pew.
If we don't tell you now, the market's gonna tell you. And so you could spend $250,000, get to market and assume you have the best product that's ever been invented, and then find out real fast from the market that they think it's crap. Or you could find out early on and either say, all right, let me pivot, let me make tweaks, let me make changes. Or the other thing that no one really likes to talk about is sometimes you got to go, all right, this isn't a viable product. So let's move on to what's next. Like, not every product needs to make it, the end of the product life cycle sometimes is you don't go to market. There's plenty of Fortune 500 companies with shelved products that never saw the light of day.
He introduced a rectangular shaped trunk, Zootcase. This was different.
Did you say Zootcase?
I said Zootcase. I think I had a mini stroke maybe.
You're still thinking of
I'm
the
still
Tyson
dealing
fight?
with the Tyson situation.
We have one metric, and we've always been brutally honest with each other. It is getting a product into the market that's selling. And that we don't always hit it. We don't always end up doing it, but that's always our goal. So we're aligned with anybody we're working with is we're going to make this product and we're going to get into the market. And then the market's going to tell us what we did wrong. And then we're going to pivot, or we say it's not viable.
Right.
And I think that's the difference to a lot of the programs that we've dealt with, that we see, that we read about, that get a lot of hype. They're not moving the needle for anybody. And they're not telling enough people no.
Right. Well, and it goes into the thing we always say, which is actually moving the needle. And you just said it again. And that's what it comes down to is each business is not necessarily in the same point. Each idea is not necessarily at the same point. So it's how do you take stock of what you have and figure out what does that mean to move the needle for me, for my company, for my idea, for my product, if that's where you're trying to go.
I always remember that conversation.
Yeah, you weren't wrong. Was this all just so
hold
that
on a minute.
I could get to the
Twice
point?
you said that I wasn't wrong.
Don't expect that. Shouldn't be a theme on this show. That's for sure.
I got the name for the new podcast.
Bob's not always wrong. But I mean, I'm excited this is work that we've been doing for years, both jointly and independently, and have found this kind of moment to be able to do it together. And so I think that it's just the time to kind of bring it all and to bring it to the forefront and put it in front of people and bring it into digestible kind of snippets.
This one,
Sorry for the chewing noise.
this one you can
I'm
use.
not sorry.
I don't view business as a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
Right? If I win, you don't have to lose.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And vice versa.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
But more important then is I always love capitalism, because true capitalism means you have to be honest in relationships,
Yeah.
because it'll come back and bite you on the ass.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to say the way you buy chips is inefficient.
No
and
one's
silly, because a potato chip yearning is different than a corn chip yearning. There's chips and then there's pretzels. And then
Yeah, I agree.
Then there is
Don't even say it.
Jack's. Completely different category.
All right, you can take Jacks, you can take Cheetos, you can take cheese puffs, you can take cheese balls. You can hit the road with all of them. If you go to the store
Am I kicking rocks
and
with
you
those?
can kick rocks with them. If I go, I want if I put on the grocery list chips, right?
I'm getting 3 or 4 bags.
No, you got to say what kind of chips you want.
And I think if you have one idea and you think it has to be successful, you better start observing the world around you and see where else that fits. Because people always go direct competition. Your biggest problem is not direct competition. It's all the other competition of human behavior and human habits and knee-jerk reaction of, no, I don't really need it.
Right. One of my favorite things is also one of my least favorite things, which is, that's
You're
right, Bob.
sitting on the fence. Just pick a side.
It's on both sides. This space exists to ask hard questions.
I think there's a French word for it. What is it there, Francie Pants?
This is very disrespectful to Francophiles, okay? Those are people
I'm
that
not
love
talking
France.
to them. I'm talking to you.
I'm a Francophile.
You are not. You butchered that language.
If you're going to go raise money, your investors should be asking you uncomfortable questions. And if they're not, you should be concerned. But it's one of my favorite things because it can produce the most good. And it's one of my least favorite things because it tends to be an uncomfortable conversation.
There's a million cookies.
Right. So
Why
what
are you
I'm saying
banging
is,
on I love Oreos.
I love Oreos too.
You like the double stuff?
Of course. If you bring a regular stuffed Oreo in my house, you might as well just take
And
it
if
with
you
you when
take
you
two sides
leave.
off and put them together, then you have quadruple.
That's too much stuffing, Bob. That's crazy talk. Everything
I
you're
actually
doing
don't like the cookie. I like them.
I like to dip
Maybe I'll dip my...
I like to get Cool Whip, and I like to dip my Oreo in Cool Whip
Oh, you're making fun of me?
or whipped cream. I
Yeah.
could go for
Please
a-
comment on that because that's crazier than dipping
That's crazy?
Yes.
No. First of all, there's so many parts of this that I have to just get to the bottom of. First of all, ketchup is a condiment, not a dip.
Use it forever you want.
Not
It's the flavor of
Potato
life.
chips.
It's an American staple.
if honest to God, if I walked in somewhere and I saw you dipping a Lay's potato chip in ketchup, I would be like, this guy needs a chaperone. This guy shouldn't be out by himself.
I can't wait to come over to your house with my own ketchup and my own potato chips.
There's no potato chips in ketchup.
Yes. Have you
can
ever
dip-
done it?
No, I don't
Okay,
need
then-
to do
then
it.
there's nothing to talk about.
That's crazy behavior.
Because the moment you do it, the clouds will part, the sun will shine on you, and you will like,
That's
what have I
prison-
been missing?
That's prison behavior, Bob. This is prison behavior. This is like when people in prison are like, oh, I'm going to make nachos, and they crush this up and they do this and that and they make it in the toilet. That's what you're doing. You're doing workarounds. Just dip it in salsa.
Have you? No, why? I don't want salsa on my potato chip.
Why are you dipping it in ketchup?
It's delicious.
Bob, who hurt you? They had a proof of concept, a cardboard model. They turned that into a prototype. They spent a bunch of money making a lot of prototype, and they felt that they were ready to go to market. They never market tested it. They had zero product market fit. They had zero market validation. So in their mind, they were in a phase 3. In our mind, they were in a phase 1. They were start from scratch with product market fit. And that is the point. And that is some of the things I talk about when I say, like, it's maybe not my favorite thing are those uncomfortable conversations. That person may not feel that we brought them to market and now they've retired. But our goal was to get you research-based data to make decisions confidently. We got them the research, we got them the data. They didn't like it.
Well, it's not
they
even
went a different
research, it's
way.
actual experience. Because if you don't experience the product and have people that you think you're going to sell to experience it, you have no real intel to create the final product anyway.
Well, that's what I mean by research is
Right.
intel. Like you actually put you say, here's my hypothesis. This is my target market. This is how they'll use it. You bring your product to that target market. You see if they agree or disagree. They wildly disagreed. That is now intel to go, what do you want to do? Do you want to change your product? Do you want to change your market?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
it'll be fun, at least for the 2 or 3 weeks we're on the air.
Yeah.
Then it'll be
Or
over.
this
So
blows up in our face somehow.
we run out of money. So we do need sponsors too. So look at that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's the main thing I expect is that we will hopefully have a good time.
I'm shocked the crew still rolled, but hey, we're going to keep this. This is going out. And you will be proven
I
wrong.
stand by 1,000% everything I've
I
said.
stand by it 2,000%.
That's too much percent.
Bob T, No Followers
I'm
Podcast. Please follow First Strike Incubator online. Subscribe to our channels. Help us help our sponsors. They're all great, wonderful companies and organizations and people.
Help me
We'll
help
see you
you.
next time. Help me help you.
Yeah.
With how to buy chips. I'm going to the store with you. Let's go.
You're going to be wrong about this one.